Hey guys, so this is a video on Steelhead Snobs again, and I'm going to be talking about bait and lures to use in what rivers, what lakes, and what streams. So the first thing I'm going to start off with is flies. Flies, they're good. I use them all the time in streams and lakes. I usually sink tip with, get a sinking tippet and like get a leech or something and use that in a lake, and trout will go nuts for those. Like, I got a little box right here with egg patterns and all that, so I use that for lakes. I also have another box of dry flies here for rivers or lakes or streams. I prefer lakes though because it's a big lake, small lake, and if you cast with your dry fly over a small stream, you could potentially hook branches and all that, and I don't like that, so I just use in rivers or lakes. The second thing I'm going to be talking about is trout bait. Now this is power bait, and you should really just use it in lakes because rivers, most of the rivers in British Columbia don't allow bait, and you want to follow those regulations because if you don't, you're going to end up in a big fine. And yeah, these cans of bait just come in just like this, all green stuff, but what you can do with the bait is take it out, roll it up into balls and put it back in so you don't have to do it while you're fishing and get your rod all dirty and your hands all dirty and all that. And just when you get it, make the balls, put it in the cans, and then throw it in the fridge, and then it's ready for your next fishing trip. But once you're done with it from your fishing trip, you can just chuck it in your garage because this bait necessarily doesn't go bad. And it won't go moldy or anything, so you don't have to worry about that. The next thing I'm going to talk about is bobbers. Now, I use certain bobbers for certain fish, so let's see here. So like this bobber here, I use for salmon in rivers, because if you use this for trout, they're not going to, you see how long it is, and they're not going to pull it down, like, all the way under. So, you want to have a bobber like this, or this. Well, I also use this bobber for salmon as well, but mostly for trout. So, yeah. Another salmon bobber. Next thing I'll talk about is lures. Lures, got these trout lures here. You can pretty much troll for them in lakes, and it's awesome. You'll catch fish and all. Trout love these kind of lures. So this here is a bass lure. Good for bass, good bass lakes and all that. This buzz bomb here is used for rockfish, lingcod, and salmon. I never use this for trout because it's too big for them, and unless it's a smaller buzz bomb, I will, because especially brown trout, they love buzz bombs. So got a little spinner here. I like using the spinner in rivers, sometimes in lakes, but mostly rivers. As I said, trout like spinners. So, yeah. Salmon lure here. If you see any of these around in your local fishing store, buy them because they're awesome for salmon. This is what salmon feed on sometimes. Fry. Salmon fry. It swims like this in the river, and that's what it represents. Salmon fry. Next thing I'm going to talk about is bass lures. Now these bass lures are pretty cheap. Like these are poppers. Just put them on an ultralight spinning rod with the appropriate test line, and you can whip these things like far. So yeah, this is a plug. I use these for bass, sometimes springs and stuff, but mostly bass. Yeah, and another plug here. Love the bass. Love these kind of lures. They'll go nuts for these lures. Another bass one. If you're planning to go bass fishing, make sure your barbs are pinched, because if they're not, then you could potentially get a fine, and you don't want that. So, and just an FYI, all fishing in BC is barbless, except for bottom fishing in the ocean. But fishermen on the ocean with boats are actually changing to barbless. I don't know why though, I just heard it from somewhere, so yeah. Last thing I'll talk about is sinkers. Sinkers are just weights that you put on your line. For weight, just cast it out there with your bait, your lure, whatever, etc., and it will go even farther than you expect and stuff. So this is the Steelhead Snobs, and I appreciate you guys watching this video. If you give me a thumbs up, if you do, that would be awesome. And please subscribe to this channel. That would be even more awesome. And if you have any more questions, any comments, please post them below this video, and I will get another video as soon as I can in probably about a week or so. So until next time, good luck fishing.